Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Mackie and welcome to today's reading vlog. Now, I don't know if you can tell, I'm sick, and since I'm not really medically fit to be going outside, going to school, getting anything done, I figured, listen, it's gonna be storming later in the evening according to the forecast. This is gonna be a very thundery week, I guess you can say, and I don't want to go edit. So, you know what my solution to that is? I am gonna be reading for 24 hours. I have my stopwatch queued and let's just get into it. Now, I just wanted to say quickly before I start, I am sick, so the quality of the video is not going to be that great, number one. And number two, I am doing the timer method because I don't want to get sicker than I already am. So this is not going to be 24 hours straight. Know that before you get into it. And it's going to be broken up. I want to break it fully into 12 hours today and 12 tomorrow. Though obviously because I'm sick, that's probably not happening. I'm going to start reading now. Hopefully we get a good few hours in. Because I've been sleeping like non-stop for the past few days. Because I haven't been well for a little bit. I have very much caught up on sleep. And now for some reason I'm staying up into odd hours of the night. Which I do that anyway. But it's just gotten worse now because I'm not getting sleep. And listen, I'm sleeping all the time. So it doesn't really matter. So I think I can foresee myself getting into the later hours of like midnight or something. Anything. I don't even know today. Regardless, when I do, you shall see. And let's just go read now. So it's currently 5:18. I want to get 12 hours in. Don't know if that's going to happen. And the first book I think I want to read in this video is Freida McFadden's new book. I don't really know what it's called. It's like a big title. And the book cover is blue, I know that. But I read a Freida book in my last video. It was fun. And I think this one, the lady, she thinks her husband is dead. She buried him or something. And she keeps seeing him everywhere. So she's like confused. Now I know it's like a novella. And because I don't want to be like holding physical books and like holding the weight and turning the pages, I just want to curl up and read. Because I'm sick. You're not going to see more than this angle in the video. And I don't want to try too hard. I'm going to get it on Kindle and I'm going to start now. So I'm starting the timer and I'm starting Freida McFadden's book as our first book. And the way her last book went, I think I'm going to binge it. So I think I'll just update once I'm done. That's the first book for today's video. Hi guys, so now it is past midnight. As you can tell, I did manage to finish our book. I finished it in 2 hours and 56 minutes. That just shows how much of a slow reader I am. But honestly, I finished it. That's all that really matters. I finished it. I know it was like around maybe 120 pages. It was short. It took me this long. I'm still proud I finished it. And I think I did give you like a brief summary of what goes on. There's a woman, her husband is dead, she buried him but she keeps seeing him. The thing is with this book, it's so interesting. I went in completely blind because I said Freida McFadden books are best when you just don't know anything that's going on, and maybe that was like a blindside on my own part. Maybe that was a mistake because I didn't realize it was actually satire. So now this novella was essentially supposed to be, or at least it was in my opinion, kind of combining all elements of like what happens in thrillers, like cliches and stuff, and bringing it all together and into this one big mashed up satire book. It was really funny, I will give you that. And she did mention herself at one point. She was promoting her new book that comes out in a month or two. Really excited for that, but I didn't see that coming. So I was waiting the entire time for like a plot twist or something crazy or something like Freida McFadden. But then again, it was really good. I don't know how to justify it, but then I didn't expect what was in it. It was just satire, and that's not a bad thing, don't get me wrong. But I went in with different hopes and expectations, which it did not really meet, but at the same time I had a good time reading. So I don't know what to rate it. I'm thinking like 3 stars because I did enjoy the book, don't get me wrong. But also I was in the mood for like a thriller mystery, and this did keep me on the edge of my seat. I was rushing to read the next page. My eyes, it kept skimming. I didn't want to spoil anything for myself, but I just kept going over it and I had a good time reading. It's just I wanted something that was more along the traditional lines of like a mystery thriller, and this was good, don't get me wrong, but just keep in mind that when you're going into it, go with the expectation that it's more of like satire. Like I said, it's really funny and it's not your typical traditional thriller. That's all I'm gonna say, but it was really good for what it was, and I'm so excited for her next book when it comes out and binging the rest of her backlist. But now I don't know what I want to do, because like I said, it's like midnight, but I still want to keep reading because I'm not feeling sleepy yet. I think I might go cut my nails because they look so ugly and I want them to look cute for this video. So I want to go cut them, shape them, maybe paint them. And I actually was listening to like an arc over the past couple of weeks, reading it, listening, swapping back and forth. It's called Textbook Romance. Pretty good. And I think that's what I'm going to continue now. I will update maybe when I finish that, because I'm like 60% through. Think I'm not too sure. And I do want to finish it because I've been reading it for so long now. But the book is good. So I'm going to see what I can do with that. Maybe I'll update later when it's later. Maybe I'll update tomorrow. But you'll see me regardless very soon. I'm going to go paint my nails and listen to that. I'm so excited. I was looking forward to this. But after finishing the book, I did end up pausing the timer, going for dinner and coming back. So that's why it's so late. But I'm going to go paint my nails now. So I'll see you in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, so it's now the next day. I have been trying to come on camera so hard to show you how hard it's storming. It's storming now. I don't think you can kind of tell, so I'll like put other clips, but it's raining so hard. It's the perfect time to read and I was just so excited. I was looking forward to this all day, getting my things done. But now I just want to sit down and read because that's all I want to do. It's currently 3:58 in the afternoon. Last night I was up till I believe like maybe 3-4, I'm not even sure, and I was reading. I managed to finish Textbook Romance, the audiobook. I made it to 5 hours and 4 minutes on our timer, which is kind of perfect, and I painted my nails. So I'm gonna show you everything now. What they look like. I think they turn out so cute. I did my toenails too. I'm not gonna show that obviously. About the book, because I never said anything about it. Essentially, Textbook Romance, it follows this girl Zoe. She goes to this wedding. She meets this really sweet guy. She is 43 or 44 I think, and he's like 29, and there's quite the age gap between them, but they really click and they hit it off. Problem is she has a husband. Now at the very same wedding, later in the night, so like a couple hours later, she actually gets a phone call, and as it turns out, her husband was just caught cheating on her and he's been doing that for over a year. So now fast forward a few months, she has now broken up with him, her life is in shambles. She has 2 teenage kids and they're all trying to navigate through everything that just happened to them, the betrayal. They feel lost, they're sad, life's not going the way they planned it. Her main character Zoe, she's really sad and she's just like not being herself. She's retreated into this like shell of a person that she was, and now she isn't who she was anymore. It's broken her. And then enter Jack again, the guy she met at the wedding and clicked off with. Except now 3 months later, when we flash forward to what we're reading right now, she actually works as a teacher at a school and he gets like a job as a sub teacher. So now that he's come in as a substitute, you don't know how long he's gonna be. But again, they hit it off. They have this connection. They like each other, obviously. It's a bit of a slow burn. Get them to like, or at least to get her to admit she likes him back. And the third act conflict wasn't really what I would really expect. But like, I understand why it played into it. And I enjoyed it. It was a sweet book. Nothing too crazy, but the way it was written reminded me a lot of the way Annabel Monaghan writes, because I read one of her books earlier in like a different reading vlog. It was so good, honestly. Like, it was really sweet. The ending, it really got me. Also, they keep exchanging chicken emojis. I won't tell you why. I have to read the book for that. That was probably the funniest part. I was literally just reading the entire book, waiting for when the next chicken emoji comes up. I finished it, and thank you Storm Publishing for sending the copy my way. I actually got it as an ARC. It's already out now because I got to it late, but I'm so happy I did because I'm so excited to like binge more of this author's backlist. Like at the back of it at the end, I think there was like a promotional for like one of her other books, like about like a wedding at Christmas time, and I'm so excited. So end of the year, you best believe I'm reading that. That was a fun book to read, but now we have 19 hours left on the timer. So I don't know what I want to pick, but I want to pick something now. This is also kind of random, but I also wanted to say, you know how jellycats have been floating around the internet? I bought into that trend, like I buy into every single trend, and I got them. So one of them got delivered just now despite the rain, that's so crazy, and one came a couple days ago, and this is not part of the video, but I just wanted to show you. The first one I got is this really cute dog. It's so cute, look at it, oh my god. I don't even know what to say, it's just adorable, look at it. It's like so soft to hold on to, it's fluffy, it's furry, I love it. It's so cute. I need name ideas, so help me come up with those. The dog came in earlier the week, and just now, look what came in. It's adorable, isn't it? I'm so obsessed. I don't love avocados, but like I love the way they look, especially because like they're so cute when they're like, you know, toys or whatever. So isn't this adorable? I need name ideas. It just came in, so nothing's really hitting me right now, but I'm thinking Leo, at least for one of them. I don't know which one, because I read Annabel Monaghan's book in like a previous video. I've been obsessed, and Leo is one of the main characters, so I don't know, but I'm thinking. So give me name ideas in the comments, but these are my jelly cats. I'm so excited and obsessed, and I can't wait to start having them in videos, putting them up around my room. This is an obsession. I need to go get more. But now back to the subject of the video. I think I want to pick up this book called You Will Be Mine by Natasha Preston, I believe. I have seen this author floating quite a bit around BookTube. Haven't really read anything by her, but then the other day, I'm such a millennial. You don't care about the story, but I'm still gonna tell you. I was just scrolling. You know what I found out? On the Kindle app on your phone when you buy books. I feel so incredibly dumb. At the bottom, there's like the library button. If you click that and you click the book you bought, you download it onto your phone and you can read it. I feel so stupid right now. You can read books on your phone through the Kindle app. Actually, I went on another buying spree on Kindle. That's just the way it is. And I started reading this book, I think, on my phone. I don't know how far in I am. I'm just reading randomly. And I see it getting like a lot of hate on Goodreads, but it's actually kind of good. I mean, I understand what's going on, but at the same time, I don't know what's going on. So I'm just gonna read it, I think. I'm picking it up. I'll update maybe when I'm done with it, maybe in the middle if something pops up. And the rain is stopping, so I'm gonna go hurry up because I love rainy atmosphere for reading. I think it gives perfect vibes and I want those. I'm picking this book up, I think, and I'll update hopefully soon. And I'll see you guys. It's past midnight and I'm nearly done with the book. I have like, I think nearly like 10-20 pages left, so I'm gonna go finish because it's a school night and I'm going to school tomorrow. But it's so creepy. I kind of don't want to read it because it's so late and dark outside and basically everyone in the house is sleeping, and this book is just so weird, and the things are tying in right now. The person, the killer, the identity was just revealed. I'm shocked. But I'm gonna go continue reading now. It's so weird. I don't want to read it, but I'm gonna go finish it. I want answers, obviously. I want to see the way it ends, but it's just so disgusting and weird, and oh my god, I'm tired when reading like non-stop, and I hit 8 hours on the timer, so that's good. But also, that's just weird. I'll see you guys in a bit. I don't know why, honestly, I assumed that I could read 24 hours while I was sick, but also I think I might be falling sick again because my throat is hurting, my voice just got worse. But for a brief rundown, since the last time I updated, which was last night, I did end up sitting up and I finished our book. I finished You Will Be Mine, which I never gave you like a summary of. So essentially it follows this girl Lila, which that was so awkward reading about. I'm sorry, I'm going off context, but you need to know. That's literally my next door neighbor's name. So every time I read, oh my god, Lila, let's do this, let's do that. You know who I was picturing in my head? I was picturing her. They're wildly different people. So Lila in the book, he doesn't really like Valentine's Day because something traumatic happened to her on it. You will read about it in the book if you end up reading it. And the thing with that is, now Valentine's Day is around the corner. She just wants to get it over with. She just wants to party with her friends, drink the day away, whatever. She just doesn't want to do anything about it. However, she does have like a long-term crush or whatever on this guy Chase, who is one of her roommates, housemates, whatever. There's like 6 of them, and so she's just like, if something comes of it, something will come of it, and I'm excited. So the thing is, she goes into February with that mindset, and the first day I think of February is when it opens, and all of her 6 housemates, so there's 6 of them total I think, they end up going the first day of February to start celebrating or whatever. They go to a bar, they start getting drunk, and before they actually get ready to leave, they get this note. You know how in creepy movies or whatever they take magazines and they cut the title of magazine articles off, and then they stick each letter and make it look mismatched. So there's one letter here and one letter from another magazine. They're different colors and they, you know, form like a letter. So before they leave, they get this letter that is kind of like an indirect threat to one of the guys, and they just brush it off. Whatever, they go to that bar, they have a good night, but then when they return back home, they realize the guy is missing, he's gone. So they're trying to find him, and there's all these things going on, and then one by one each of them starts getting like a threatening message, something along the lines of your heart will be mine or you will be mine. And then after they get the message, they end up dying mysteriously, and then the body is recovered. It's this whole thing, and when the body is recovered, their heart isn't there, like literally. I don't know if I can talk about that on YouTube, but like here we are. So essentially now they're trying to figure out what happened, why is this happening to them. It's a weird book, honestly. When I was reading it yesterday in the night, especially when I got to like the end of it and the whole plot twist, I will say I was creeped out. I think I updated and said that, but I finished it. I gave it like 3.5 stars. I think Goodreads I gave it 3 because you can't give like half stars there. The ending was crazy. I didn't expect that. At the same time, I don't even think there was enough build up for this certain killer or whoever it was behind it to be the one responsible. It felt very, I need to put in like a very crazy plot twist so people freak out, but also I don't see any build up pointing towards this person in the first place. In most books, you're not really supposed to point to the person you want as your main murderer or killer anyway, but like you need to have subtle clues, and then this person wildly out of context comes in and they appear stable, but then I don't know how to describe it without spoiling it. Just know the ending wasn't as satisfying and wrapping everything up as I wanted. There were a couple of questions I still had, loopholes if you may, I don't know, but I gave it 3.5 stars. It was a good read, sit down, binge it. But also I forgot to say, because I was reading on my phone on other occasions, I didn't actually read the whole book in the span of whatever time, which we actually ended up hitting 8.5 hours last night. I didn't read all of the book in this span. I actually, as it turns out, I had only 150 pages left. That's what I realized when I went into it. I just didn't update. So that's your update on the book. But basically last night after I finished reading the book, it was already like I think nearly 2 a.m. I had to sit up a little bit to do some YouTube work, so I went to bed late. I got less than 2 hours of sleep. That is not good if I want to recover. I ended up going to school because I felt so much better in the morning, despite the 2 hours of sleep. Came back. After school, it's so funny. My mom, she's getting like a new treadmill, so we decided we're gonna go into town. We're gonna go look at it, whatever, because it was supposed to come in today originally. It's coming tomorrow now, but we were gonna go in town, look at the place, look at the treadmill, pay for it, whatever. And because we were going in town, can you imagine? This is the second time in this very same video I have said no to going to the bookstore, because that offer was on the table and I was just like, no, I'm a changed woman. Also, I think it was just the sleep deprivation, so no, I didn't go to the bookstore. I wish I did. My TBR cannot afford that at this point. I have no shelf space. So regardless, I was out in the afternoon, came back later, had lunch. We also did end up stopping by my favorite like donut place. That's one place I will never say no to, despite how sleep deprived I am. But we got donuts. I'll eat that in a sec because I'm like so hungry right now. We got back late because of traffic and everything, and then by the time I came up, I was too tired to record. I think it was like 4 in the afternoon, so I ended up sleeping. That's where the story begins at the beginning. And I woke up, I started feeling sick again, so don't know where we're going with that. But all I do know right now is I'm refreshed and I've been looking forward to this. I'm sorry about the ramble. This was not part of the video. I don't know how much of it I'm cutting out. But I want to pick up another book to read right now. I have my big Kindle with me. I have two if you don't know. My smaller, the actual Kindle. Both of them are Kindles. I don't know why I say that. But the Paperwhite, it's pretty much dead. So what I want to do right now, because I want to read on that, I'm going to leave it to charge. And I'm going to read on this instead. Because it's bigger and it's better probably for my eyes. But like at the same time, it's not really convenient to handle. So I'm going to start reading something on this. I think I want to read like a romance after everything that happened in that book. Because I'll be honest, I am a hopeless romantic, and the way all these things happened on Valentine's Day, I'm just really grateful I didn't read that book around Valentine's, because that would have ruined my day. I'm not even joking. I'd be looking over my shoulder, freaked out. So at least that's one good grace. but because I want to get back reading like a romance, just feel better after everything I read in that book, I'm gonna go pick a romance to read on Kindle. That's what the whole long-winded speech was about. I'm gonna leave the other one to charge so we can read like a romance here, and then by the time the other one is charged, I can pick up something else from that, and hopefully that will be our video. So I'm gonna go look at my Kindle, look at my options, see what I already have bought on Kindle, because I want to get through as much as I can on my TBR, even though we have been picking books out of it. But yeah, that's the goal. I'm gonna go some reading in now. I'm gonna go eat my donut, and I'm gonna see you in a bit. The thing is, we hit 8.5 hours on the timer, and it's currently 8:10. Let me show you. And because it's 8:10, I mean, I know I'm sitting up tonight. Sabrina Carpenter's new album comes out at midnight, which is amazing. I have to wait because I'm gonna sit up. I don't know how much I'm reading right now. The goal is to at least get to 12 hours, which I don't know if that's realistic or not, but we shall see. I don't know how I ever thought I'm gonna finish 12 hours in a day, but I'm gonna see if I can do it today. I have to wait for her album anyway. I'll see you guys then, hopefully. So excited. Honestly, that's the only place my mind is right now, so I'm gonna pick something easy to read and just get into that. This is the most accurate description of me reading this book the entire time because it's so bad. I don't think I've ever said that about a book like on camera, but genuinely, I'll give you my update soon. But that's me in the book rolling my eyes because I don't even know why I'm reading this, honestly. This little paragraph from my bottom lip to if he feels the same. Pause the video right now, just read it. If you don't want to spoil the book for yourself, skip over this bit. But this is what I mean when I say this book is literally the embodiment of I can fix him. No, like I really can. Because they're not meant to be together, but she's forcing it. And I don't see this going anywhere, but here we are. I'm still reading. I will say this book has really good one-liners. They don't know that I'm breaking inside or how much it hurts me to know that I can't be the best for someone who's everything to me. Like, that's amazing, but they're breaking down and crying and hugging each other in a bookstore where bystanders are trying to buy books. The sentence is broken up because it was on another page, but they know that and they're still creating a scene. Can't they just go back to his car or something? I'm having secondhand embarrassment. And also, I wanted to come in and say that this whole thing from they to you're meant to go and I'm meant to stay, it's giving Love Story by Taylor Swift. I can't remember the lyrics, wait. You were everything to me, I was begging you, please don't go. I'm not gonna give you context because I don't want to spoil the book for you if you want to read it. Whole book is giving Love Story by Taylor Swift, except it's giving the sad parts, I guess, and it's giving like a more toxic version of it, not like the actual lovey story part of it, like the lovey-dovey bits. I don't know. So I don't remember the last time I came to speak to you, so that probably means that an update is overdue. I do believe it was on Thursday, today's Saturday. Didn't update anything yesterday because I was literally just like, listen, I want to get this challenge done. Did I do it? No, I did not. But here I am for my update. It's currently 4:35 on Saturday, and the thing is, because I have my weekend now, I figured I have to get this done anyhow because it's been going so long. I don't even remember the day I started. I just know it doesn't, or it shouldn't take you a week to read 24 hours. So here I am. But I do remember the last time I came, I wanted to hit 12 hours that day. I didn't actually. I hit like 11 and a half, maybe 11. I think I hit like just nearly 11, and then I went to bed because I was tired. But then yesterday I ended up reading quite a bit. I started a new book. I'll talk about that in a second, but I got 13 and a half hours done so far. So we are 13 hours and 27 minutes, which is so nice because we are in the double digits. We have overtaken our halfway mark, which was 12 hours, and now we're nearing 24 hours. Are we really? No, we're not. But also we're nearing 14 hours, and then that's only 10 hours left after that. So I'm really excited. We have 10 and a half hours. That's good news. And since the last time I updated, I know I was gonna go on Kindle, look at what I have downloaded, pick like a good old romance to read. I did end up picking a romance, in fact, but I didn't update because I was gonna read this book originally for a different video, but then I got kind of into like a creative slump, so I picked it up, but then also I stopped reading it at some point. Don't know why, but I figured, okay, I have like 150 pages left on it, maybe I'll just pick it back up, finish it, what's the big deal? And it was this cowboy romance. I think it was called Rewrite Our Story, and I know it was really going viral, I think around last year, because of like the little dedication at the front. I picked it up only for that reason, I'll be honest. I'll put it up on screen. I don't remember it right now because it's been days since I read the beginning, months maybe, I don't know. But I figured, okay, I'll read the last 150 pages, and essentially it's like the second chance cowboy romance with the girl's childhood best friend. It's her best friend's brother, whatever. And then the problem is the tropes make it sound so good. But then every time I came in and gave you those little updates of my Kindle screen, it wasn't going so good. So let's talk about it. So this book essentially follows Marigold. She has this like friend growing up. So at the beginning of the book, her mom passes away. So she's like sad. And you see her go through the grief at the beginning. She's not really understanding really what's going on. So she ends up going to her best friend's house. And she goes to her best friend's brother for comfort. And I love that for her, that she had someone then. But then growing up, just see how she starts falling in love with him. Like she knows he is it for her. But you watch the whole thing between them, and I'll be honest, it wasn't for me. Essentially something happens, they get together, something happens, and now suddenly it's been all these years in the future. Their mom, the friend's mom, has now passed away. So she has to come back to the small town because she left it after things went down between them in the past. And now that she's coming back, she has to see him again, she has to interact with him again, try to move on past the things that happened between them in the past. But then there's also this like spark kind of, and then she's like wondering what's going on. It's very confusing how I'm trying to explain it, but genuinely, like if you want to read this book, I'm not stopping you, but it wasn't the book for me. And I think I have read so far 69 books in the year. When I tell you this is my least favorite book I've read all year, I mean it. In retrospect, a cowboy romance, small town, friends to lovers, childhood friends. He is her best friend's brother. Why does that sound so good? And then why did it turn out to be like this? Because I feel like every time they got to any emotional talk, he would suddenly talk about her in this like physical sense when he wanted to hook up with her. But like, you are in the middle of speaking about these emotional heavy things, and you should probably talk about that, connect with it. And also another thing I wanted to say is, in the book so many times, there's this like one sentence that's rephrased over and over again. We let our bodies do the talking that we can't talk, or we let ourselves do the talking that we won't actually talk. And then in my head I'm just like, okay, so you're gonna hook up but you're not gonna talk about it. What? I feel like also this book, it felt very much like she was trying to portray them in like this soulmatey sense, but also it felt a lot like she was trying to tell you more than she was trying to show you, and I didn't really enjoy that. It was just her telling you, oh, he's perfect for her, but then when you actually look at him, I feel like every time he opened his mouth, I just wanted him to shut up. Like, he would have been perfect if he just shut up, because every time he opened his mouth, he said something or did something wrong that icked me in the wrong way, and I was just like, no, this book isn't for me. And then also towards the end of the book, the funniest part is her best friend. I think you're getting like the second book in the little like interconnected series, you're getting her book. And so towards the end of this book, I felt like everything that was happening was marketing for her book with another different character or whatever. It literally just felt like a really good marketing move, because they kept talking about them instead of focusing on the actual couple. I didn't enjoy it. That's what I'm gonna say. And then also the way the other guy talks to the best friend in the whole marketing thing for the second book, just the way he talks to her, even this one scene towards the end of the book wherein he was talking to our main character, that rubbed me in such a wrong way. If I am with someone, I want that person to treat my friends nicely. The way this guy was talking to her especially, I was just like, no. Which is why I won't be continuing the series. I just wanted to come say that. Her name is Marigold. The male main character, Cade, love interest, he calls her Goldie, which is still fine. But then his family calls her Mare, and then he keeps talking about how he has these horses to look after. And the funniest part in my head is that Mare is essentially like a female horse. So every time they call her Mare, and then he speaks about how he has horses to look after, I don't know why. If you have a character called Marigold, please don't write Mare as their nickname or whatever, because even at the beginning of each chapter in her perspective, it said Mare, and then present timeline, or Mare and past timeline, which it kept switching back and forth, and we had both perspectives. But every time that name came up, I was just like not having it. I didn't really like the book. I think I'm gonna give it like 2 stars, and I'm happy to be done with it. That's all. Now I don't know what I want to read. It's like last time, again, probably something on my Kindle, but now I'm in the mood for like a new release. So I think what I want to do is go to Goodreads, look at all the new books that came out this month, because I'm not sticking to my TBR. I'm going out my TBR, like I've been doing this entire video. And I'm gonna go look at all the new books that came out this month, look at something, maybe if something catches my eye, I'll pick that up. And I'm gonna start reading. We have like 10.5 hours left, I think, so that's well and good. Let's see what we can get done. Hopefully we don't have any more disappointments like the one I just read. Maybe I'm done with cowboy romances for a bit, because I was so excited. I read Flawless, first book in the Chestnut Spring series last year. Really loved it, I'm telling you. It was sometime around this time of the year anyway, so I was just like, okay, maybe cowboy romances are it for me. But like, this didn't hit. I'm just gonna say that. I don't mind reading the rest of Chestnut Springs though, which will come in an upcoming future video, so you stay tuned for that. I'm not done with them yet, but I know this one wasn't for me, so maybe I'm not gonna pick a romance now because I think I'm not in the mindset for that. So I'm gonna go choose something. I'll come back in a little bit. I'll show you what I chose. But I'm just happy that book is done because the communication in that was absolutely zero, and the last thing I want is characters complaining about, oh my god, we can't be together, but like they're not communicating, and then he's saying something but in his head he's thinking another thing. It felt very hypocritical, and I keep going into rants about it just because I hate it, but also whatever. First little chapter wherein grief was spoken about, that was like the only thing that was good about the book, but like that's it. Maybe I'll read another Cat Singleton book another day, who knows, but I know I'm not reading this series again, so that's the end of that. I'm gonna go pick our next book and I'll see you guys in a bit. I'm sorry about the lighting. Bye. Hi guys, so long time no see. Because of how much time it's taken to come and update in this video, I almost came in and gave you my intro. That just shows how muddled I feel right now, but it's Monday today, August 26th, and this video needs to go into editing on Wednesday because I need to get it out this week anyhow, because I don't have any other piece of content. So that means today is basically supposed to be, unironically, the last day of filming. We will see how true that statement comes towards the end of the day. But it's like 5 in the evening right now, like I already told you probably. I'm already forgetting things. Hit 17 hours and 36 minutes on our timer. I think I was reading till like 4 in the morning on Saturday, which is not okay, but I started a really good book. So let's talk about that. The last time I updated, I was speaking about the cowboy book that I really didn't enjoy, and I was like in the lowest of book spirits. But then this book, for context, I'm talking about Lady Macbeth by Reid, who is also very popular for her book A Study in Drowning that came out last year. And this is her new release. It came out 2 weeks ago at this point. It's like August 26th today. I think it came out on the 13th. And the timing of it is so funny because for the past 2 years, and this year we finished that course, in literature, we are actually studying Macbeth, the original book. So this book is actually a retelling of Shakespeare's book, and we're studying that in school. And so I thought, this is probably not going to help me towards my grades. The timing felt so immaculate. I don't know why. It felt like everything just lined up perfectly, because they're not going to teach this course from next year. I think they're changing it up or something. And so I was just like, oh my god, can you imagine? The last year they're teaching this is also the year the book comes out, and I felt like it was destiny. So I decided I'm going to pick this book up and we're reading it. And that's the book I chose to read. So from the last time I updated, whatever hours I have read so far, up to 17. So I think I was like at 15 or something, 12 maybe. All those hours in the middle, I was actually reading this book. I'm probably so wrong with my numbers because I don't remember. But this book essentially, like I said, is like a retelling of Macbeth. And now you're gonna have to excuse me because I don't know how exactly to summarize it for you. Since at school we've learned like analysis and deep character studies, and I want to condense it all for you. It's just I don't want to spoil anything for you. So for your entertainment and viewing sake, I'm going to cut it down as much as I can, but here we are. If you haven't already heard of what Macbeth is about by Shakespeare, it essentially follows this guy who's like one of the higher positioned ranked noblemen, I guess, in Scotland, and essentially he comes across these witches who give them a prophecy. Now the prophecy they give him is about these 3 things, 2 of which already end up coming true, and then the third one is that he'll become king. So when these 2 come true, he's just like, oh my god, I'm going to become king at some point, because the third one's bound to come true as well. But the only thing is it's taking longer than it should, so he decides, why don't I just take fate into my own hands, because they said it's going to happen anyway. The first 2 happen, I can just do the third. So essentially he comes up with this plan wherein he's going to kill the king and become king, and then beyond that you see his spiral and progression into a lot of things. And then at the beginning he is celebrated as this like righteous man, but then as you go on with the story, you watch him slowly descend into this spiral of, I don't even want to call it madness, because it's just like this whole thing he has wherein he wants to kill more and he's suddenly greedy for blood. It's very interesting. It's like a character analysis more than it's a story, in my opinion, because there's so much to study out of these characters. Like, he's such a nice man, but then this one thing changed him, and it shows how power in the wrong hands can manipulate it, and it needs to be handled responsibly. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just saying it's a very interesting and thought-provoking story if you want to read it. But because it's by Shakespeare, the way it's written is very medieval Shakespearean English style. That's not a bad thing. It's just, it's not easy for my brain to process. Don't know about you. And because I'm studying it at school, it's not exactly fun. I'm not having the best time because, again, I don't want to be reading a book and analyzing every single thing about it. I want to read for fun. And so I figured I want to read this book because this book actually talks about his wife, Lady Macbeth, her influence on him. Because in the original book, she is the one who provokes him into going and killing the king. She is the one who manipulates him. But then in the book right now that I'm reading, she is portrayed as like this 17-year-old foreign bride, and she is forced into this arranged marriage with Macbeth, and he's like portrayed differently from the way the original story is. But regardless, I'm enjoying myself. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But essentially in this book, she herself has got some sort of trace of witchcraft. I'm still trying to wrap my head around what's going on. And essentially her eyes cause madness in men. So if she looks at them directly, they end up doing her bidding or whatever, which is why even on the cover, she's wearing this veil to cover her eyes from looking at them directly and manipulating them. And as it turns out, she's not the only one who has her little association with witchcraft. Her husband, Macbeth, he does as well. He's got these witches under his bidding who tell him prophecies. Again, you can see how it ties into Shakespeare's book, and the whole king prophecy comes into play, and suddenly she doesn't know what's going to happen, but she's going to figure it out soon, and that's the point of the book. So it's very focused on Lady Macbeth specifically and her character and how she became what she is, because in the book she is just Rossel, but then you see her slowly progress into this title that's fit for her, because she married this man who is clearly just described as a brute in the book, but he's so much more than that if you look at it, because he's manipulative, he is gaslighting, he is a strategist and a tactician. It's very interesting. You should go read it if you want to. But then again, I don't think this book would be everyone's cup of tea, because from what I can tell, especially if people from Goodreads, I don't know why I keep going there, I just do because Goodreads is like my favorite place, but people on Goodreads say that it isn't very focused on how she manipulated him into doing all of this, or doing whatever he did responsibly to lead to what happens at the end of the original book. And so it's very interesting seeing her influence in this retelling than in the actual book, because I've read both at this point, or I'm reading both, and I'm trying to figure that out, and I'm having a good time anyway, and that was what the whole rant was about. So the way it's written is poetic. I think we have like a different love interest in Lady Macbeth, which I'm really enjoying, the little subplot of romance that just got introduced where I am. Okay, so I'm about 180 pages in from what I can tell, and I've just been reading on and off, but I think today I want to just finish the challenge off. So as you saw, we have 17 hours on the clock. I want to finish it, maybe finish this book and pick something up after, and because the new treadmill came in, I want to go give it a nice spin as well, go pull some hours in on it. So I'm going to pick an audiobook after this, I know, but I'm having a good time reading it. So I don't want to reduce the way I feel for that book or undermine it by saying I'm ready to move on to the next one, because I'm really enjoying it. It's very atmospheric and gothic, and I feel like it's perfect for fall because I'm picturing things so vividly and better than I normally do, and I'm engrossed in the story and to see how it turns out, because I know the way the original is written, and so here when there are these slight changes that are altering the plot slightly, I'm thinking, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? Because I know and I've read about the original storyline, but I don't know what's gonna happen here, because there are these slight tweaks in it that is obviously gonna change everything, because I know it impacts to something bigger, and it's so funny reading both sides and trying to understand that. I'm having a good time. But regardless, I'm gonna continue reading. I think I'll finish this book when I next update, and then we'll pick our next and final book for the video if I don't already end up reading this in whatever time's left. But I'll see you guys soon. This was a huge update, and hopefully today's the last day of the challenge. I'll see you. Bye. Lady Macbeth is complete. I don't know if I'll be picking out another book to read and finish tonight. I know I will in the challenge, but I don't know if tonight, because I do need to edit and upload. But we shall see. I still have a little bit to go, so I'll pick something shorter, and that's your little update. Pizza Girl is now complete. Can you imagine? I have literally only like 11 minutes left and I'm starting something new, but I want to do it, so we shall see. Hi guys, so I did end up finishing the video. I did read for 24 hours. I just didn't really come in to give you my thoughts because I didn't have much to say. But now that we've reached the end of the challenge, this video is literally supposed to be coming out tonight and I don't have an outro. Here I am. So essentially I did end up finishing Lady Macbeth on Kindle. I think I gave this book like 4 stars. It's been a bit since I finished it now, so I'm being hazy, I'm being foggy. But essentially I finished it. It was a good book. I will say though, I did enjoy the original story of Macbeth more than the retelling. Like, I loved it, don't get me wrong. But the original story, you get to see the character of Lady Macbeth as this evil, plotting, malicious, I don't know, just like a cruel person. And she's gaslighting, she's manipulating, she's doing so many different things. And then in the book, it felt very much like she was watered down to this sublime version that needs to fit in with societal standards. Like, yeah, when you're in her head, she is being clever about things. I felt like that really didn't go anywhere. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I had a good time, but I wish there was more to her character in the retelling like it was in the original. And I think that's the problem with reading retellings. They don't usually end up hitting the standards of the higher book or the original book, and then you're comparing it to that. And even though it's my first retelling, I don't know what to say. Like, I had a good time, but I wish that there was more to her character. I wish you got to see those parts of her character when she's just being the worst person ever, because she has been known to be Shakespeare's worst female characters, because he usually writes heroines, but then this woman was a psycho. So I wish there was more to that. I wish she didn't really confine to the standards of society, but then at the same time, the way the storyline went, I could see why she was in the position that she was and doing what she was doing. And I really liked the way it ended. I really liked the conclusion. I again wish there was more to it, but the way it ended, the way there was a different spin on things than the original book, was very fun and interesting. And I really just had a good time reading something that I didn't have to force myself to read for school, like the original book that I read by Shakespeare. And this one, I read at my own pace. I didn't have to go over character studies and stuff, annotate it, go and do fancy things about it. No, I did it the way I wanted it to, and I had a good time. I really enjoyed Ava Lee's writing style as well, so I think I want to pick up another couple of her books maybe over the fall now, because they're considered gothic fantasies, and that's really gonna set the eerie vibe, because this one gave me that and I had a good time. After I finished Lady Macbeth, I ended up picking up Pizza Girl in our last little bit, because I saw the audiobook. It had like not that much time to it, and if I sped it up, I could listen to it and finish it in a challenge, which I did. Now I didn't really update because this felt like a snapshot of a bigger picture of the book, and now that it's been a while since I read it, I have forgotten like half the things about it, but I'm here to talk about it anyway. This book follows like an 18-year-old pizza girl who's pregnant, and she goes to deliver pizza to this woman who wants pickles on her pizza. She's not really being served by other pizza shops or whatever, because her son wants it. And when she goes to meet this woman to give her the pickle pizza, she starts getting obsessed with her, and suddenly she's trying to be with her and has this like mental image of her. It's very weird. I don't understand the point of where the book was going. Like, yeah, you can see her recontemplating life, you can see the different emotions which feel very raw and vivid, but in that sense, I don't know, I feel like there was something lacking in this book. Like, I don't know what exactly, I can't pinpoint it, but I feel like if it was made longer and the characters were more fleshed out, maybe I'd have liked it better, because it felt like there was no point to where this book was going. It felt very much like a character study, and that too, the characters weren't too deep. But then again, the book was at a shorter length and it was on my TBR, so I got it done with, and that's my thoughts on Pizza Girl. I ended up giving it like 2 stars, maybe 2.5. I did like the way it was written, don't get me wrong, and it was very interesting, but I just feel like the storyline went nowhere. And it felt, like I said, like if there was a bigger picture, but the story, the book, it had me like a little bit of like a snapshot of a current still moment in the book for it. And after that, I had maybe 10 minutes left of the challenge, so I started listening to one of Annabel Monaghan's books, same time next summer. I have to go finish that today for a different video, so I will not be talking about it here because it's gonna come in the next video you're gonna watch anyway. But I ended up reading that or listening to like the first chapter of it, and that's where our challenge ended. That's where I finished reading for 24 hours. You can tell I'm obviously not sick right now, and I don't understand why I ever came up with the idea of it, but I hope you had a good time coming along with me reading for 24 hours while I was sick anyway, even though most of it wasn't while I was sick. But I had a good time. We got through a bunch of books, some on my TBR, some not. Found a couple of nice reads, and it was fun. So that's it for this week's video. I hope you guys had a good time watching. If you did, like, comment, share, subscribe, do the YouTube things. And if you want me to try this again, like a different version of 24 hours, because I've done one with romance books, I've done one on vacation, this is the one when I was sick. So if you've got another twist to it, another spin to it, because I love doing these, let me know, because I don't want it to get boring and repetitive, but also I love doing it and I just want to keep doing this. This is the only format of the video I want to keep doing. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys in next week's video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and bye.